Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Okay, so I was out getting a cup of coffee and figured I'd come down and take a walk at the park or at least read because, the neighbor kids are home and they're being loud and obnoxious. So it's just hard to concentrate in the house. And it's like 73 degrees, 73 or 75, something like that. It's got a cool chill coming through. That's what today's weather looks like. Overcast. You can still see a lot of smoke. But my friend who lives in Palm Springs was telling, because that Hillary storm's going through. I guess you can't get into Palm Springs or get out of Palm Springs. They're flooded. Kind of like saying they're trapped. All 911 services and everything are shut down, I guess. But anyway, on my way over here, when you're driving, you can sometimes see the tail lights in people's cars. Okay, so there's I think it's a newer Cadillac or something like that. But it had these brake lights that had 6 small lights going up and then 6 small lights right here just for one light. And I seen that, and it's shaped like these little, they're not shaped in circles, they're shaped in like these oval, like arrowhead kind of like things, I want to say. That type of symbolism. And hopefully you can see it because I'm not sure how close this is. Okay, so I got to thinking the spine, because the spine is the dragon, the serpent, right? Okay, so I got here at the park and I started drawing this out. So our tailbone, just remember our tailbone is actually happens to be right in the middle, which is where the dragon's at, the lizard or reptilian brain's at. Because remember, this side of our brain is the emotional brain. Right in the middle of this is the reptilian brain. Reptilian, you can also think of Godzilla, the dragon. You can, and then our left brain is a lymphatic brain, which is our immunity brain. And it's actually got its cord that wraps around our spine. So you can look at that as the snake, the serpent snake, the DNA, right? That's wrapped around the tree. And the head of it's up here. Well, the head of it's the brain. So pretty interesting. So I started seeing in my mind's eye, each section of the chakras are this symbol, right? So I just come here and I drew out the tailbone because it's kind of rectangular down there. And then we have that hole that's right there. And which it looks like a furnace or a fireplace, right? This is where our core's at, is our diaphragm. And I think that's another reason why Horus has 4 children. He's got man, in intuitive man or the native man, that type of thing, Indian. And then I don't think that you may have to be part Indian or something like that. I'm not too sure. Of course, if we all have Christ in us, I'm sure we all have native Indian in us. I don't know why I said that, but I'll just leave it there. So I got to building this up. I'm like, okay, so 6 of these lights on each side. So there's an actual total 12, right? So I put a pillar here, and then I go to the next chakra, the orange. I built this one. Here's the heart, where it's all green. And then up here, I put would be blue. So this would be blue, this would be green, this would be yellow, this would be orange, and this would be red. If you're red, because, the furnace is right here, right? The tree, the 3 branches, of growing, you can look at it as You got your Christ, right? The pillar that he builds up. Remember, the dragon rises up at the end time. The dragon's like the chi, the fire that lights up. Keep your candle lit. This is our brain. So this was like our throat chakra. This goes up here to indigo, and then purple on top. It's like a flame. But when we do the pole shift, it's going to be red up here at the top, and it's going to be orange, right? So a red is orange light. It's quite interesting because remember, we flipped these chakras, these 3 chakras right here, with the 3 chakras on top of the pole shift. The heart always stays green, and it always stays the same. So you take these 3 and flip it with these 3 chakras. And so now the purple should be down here, and then you have indigo, the purple bluish color, and then the 3rd chakra is now blue, like the water, and then it goes green, and then it would go into yellow, orange, and then red. Oh, isn't that interesting? And it's like when you got the red at the top, it's like the red light. Red light is, if we think about traffic signals or being on the ocean, I think they have the red, the yellow, and the green. So it's like saying you get up here to the red, it means stop, right? It's like X marks the spot, because that's where the DNA serpent snake is. So the X would be at the very top of this light bulb. Interesting, right? Beaming out in all 4 directions. So the head of the snake is now up here on top. But anyway, I just wanted to, and how I did it is I took the 5 chakras divided by 33 vertebrae, right? So that's 5 into, would be 6, and then drop the 3 down. So 5 can't go into 3. Oh, 6.5. So, that's interesting, because if we go point here, so, and put a 0, drop the 0, that would be 6. 6.6. How interesting is that? And that would be in Greek, it would be ZZ, like ZZ Top. Oh, that's even more interesting, because ZZ Top's usually has in their videos that bright cherry red car. Oh, and I wonder if that has to do with something with George Washington's cherry tree. The cherry on top. Oh, it's so interesting. But I thought when I started drawing this out, our tailbone, and then I was like thinking, our tailbone, that makes sense. Oh, this is the lizard, or the reptilian brain going right up the middle of us. And then it's like the furnace, which would be the core of our body. And I was talking about Horus. So Horus had the man, he had the falcon, he had the baboon. And if you look at baboon, it's B-A for ba. Ba means the body, like my clay body. And boon, I wonder if that's like, I don't know, boon. Like a, I don't know. I'll have to research that one. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out here too. So in space and time, going back to the video I did earlier about space and time, where there's nothing outside the vault, right? So where it's like a closed system. And then how my body is the mere reflection of this world. So I'm looking at myself, so everything is within inside me. Everything is space and time within myself, because remember the time X. And, the time, no one knows the time appointed, because maybe that's referring to each individual. No one knows what their time is appointed. Because no one knows the time of the end, right? So if we look at it as in the parable, no one knows the time of the end, maybe for each individual. I'll have to look in scripture again to see if it says for, the words are expressed in, as in worldwide, or no one knows the time of that, or no one knows the time that Christ is going to come meet them. I mean, it could be anything. And what's really interesting is because remember our stomach growls, right, when it's hungry. Right? You hear that growling sound in your stomach. It's kind of interesting. It's like the dragon's down here growling, feed me. And then the dragon rising up, the chi. The chi is the energy, right, rising up. And again, you've got the notes, like do, re, mi. Where did I get? Do we have them? Yeah, right here. Let's look at this one. So you got like do, ti. Well, it would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. T for time. I wonder if it's like John Doe, right? Doe, and then Ray, a splash of golden sun. That could be like our urine for Peter. Interesting, right? And then me, I got thinking me could possibly be marked because right there is where Prince Michael puts an X over, marking like the DNA. Father, I think, is Matthew, because of the do, or something tells me about Matthew there. And then soul, I put Jesus. Law, I put Moses. T is King David. Titanium, perhaps. The crown. Titanium crown. That's interesting. So King Solomon, who built the house in the third eye, the third mind temple. So those, that is so interesting, right? Solomon, King Solomon, and that's where soul is, right there in our throat chakra, where Jesus is at. Pretty interesting. That's even more interesting. I wonder if King Solomon, Solomon, I wonder if King Solomon is Jesus in the in the Old Testament, because he is King David's first son. Isn't that interesting? And since Jesus is a living God, so I wonder if he just never dies, because he's eternal, and he just comes back. And in the New Testament, where he's born again, which is quite interesting, because remember, he spent 30 years behind the scenes, and in Scripture, God wrote that we should spend 30 years teaching our children before allowing them to teach or putting them out on their own. And notice, after 30 years, Jesus went out and taught for 3 years, and then at the 33 mark, he was crucified. And it's really interesting because the 33 mark is representing our 33 vertebrae. So it's like it was all planned out so we can figure out our way back home, or lighting up, or sparking up, putting enough oil in our lantern, right? And it's quite interesting, because when you think about oil, there's two fish, or both of our legs represent the fish, the Pisces. And then you've got the dragon rising up in the center, and that could be like the sea goat, like the Capricorn goat, or let's see here, what else? Or it could be representing Godzilla rising up at the top, right? And everybody likes Godzilla because Godzilla pretty much protects the land. But like I've mentioned before in the movies of Godzilla, when he comes upon board, that's interesting, because he shows up over in China all the time, or in the Chinese kind of like thing. So China is Qi, the red sun, right? The red sun rising at the top. And if you look at China, CHI is Qi, and then Na is number 11 for sodium. The chi, the sodium, is rising up. I wonder if that's telling me today to put more sodium in my body, because I've been seeing a lot of like baking soda and sodium, for some reason, ads on my Facebook account. The benefits of sodium, the benefits of baking soda, and stuff like that. So maybe that's a sign, because that's what Na number 11 is sodium. On the periodic table. And then chi, we know chi is the X, the key, and the key is the serpent snake, the DNA. So it's like the lymphatic system has the immune system that goes to our left brain, right? So it's like the serpent snake, the DNA. Pretty wild. It's kind of like an electrical cord too, that connects this set to this set, this set, this set, this set. It's almost like on Star Trek, you've got these computer boards. I don't know, maybe that's considered the motherboard, because the mother sits up here too in the egg. Oh, that's so interesting, the dragon's egg. I tell you what, this is why I talk and write things out and draw it out, because, just like TP, you got the T and the P. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. And then you got the Christogram for the experience points, right? So you got the T and you got the P for the pull of life, right? Going down, and there's the I, and there's the X for the chi. And then over the top, you got the crown, or what would be like a sun in the background, but it's actually like Mary Poppins when she brings out the lampstand. Huh. This even is probably for the parrot, the P for the parrot. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, guys, have a great day.